Oh, it's going good. Hi, this is Sarah from Aligned with Sarah. This is Let's Talk Tuesday, and um, I feel like things are really aligned uh, for me to be doing this video today because um, for February, because February is so short and sweet, this lovely month that we have here in winter. Uh, I'm doing short videos on YouTube for like the shorts. They're all going to be around a minute long or less. And I'm going to put one up every day. And it's about giving ourselves permission to change something in our life, our belief systems, our mindset. And today I recorded and put up the video for what I'm giving myself permission to do today. And I made a fairly public commitment, which, to me, when the stuff goes out there on YouTube, whether, 3 or 4 people see it or, 100 people see it, it feels like a public commitment to me. And today's video is giving permission. The day that I'm doing this YouTube or this live stream, the video is about I give myself permission to rest. And I think that um, I had committed to spending 10 minutes with my kids after dinner at the table after we were done eating. And I committed to taking a ride. We were going to go up like the long way up to see the cows and come back around. And that's about 15 minutes and just kind of spending time together, just resting and driving around and relaxing. And then turning my phone off for an hour this evening. So I feel like as soon as I said that and I like clicked send or end or post or whatever, my resistance to resting showed up, and there was like this crazy disaster with my newsletter. Like I went to click send on that and it wasn't like put together anymore. So I had to like do it all in like a couple hours, which is like insane, which I had everything written down in a separate area. So um it's just insane. And then I can't even believe it's like 7 o'clock now. And I wanted to talk today. I am going to talk today in this Let's Talk Tuesday about the permission for me to love myself, that permission for self-love. So putting that out there with any of these permissions or any of these things that we're asking for to the universe, sometimes we get this really strong resistance coming right back at us. And that was me today. And having prepared my notes, I was really just like, wow, this is so interesting. Making a commitment to myself for rest. And then all of a sudden, all those things that I was planning on kind of get shifted and twisted. And I feel like that's the universe asking me, how much do I really value that commitment? How much do I really value rest? How much do I really value those three things? There is this intense pushback, which again, I just find incredibly interesting. So turning that around into giving ourselves permission for self-love, the first thing that I wanted to talk about, specifically with self-love, is the advice or the invitation to really connect with what self-love looks like to you specifically. So for the things that you like doing for you to make yourself feel loved are not necessarily the same things that feel good to me, feel good to either one of my kids. Would have different needs and different feelings towards that experience of creating an environment that's going to enhance self-love. So the first thing to be aware of is that this is very, very specific. I mean, we can go to Pinterest and get ideas. I'm going to say some ideas here in a little bit, but really connecting to whether or not that feels like self-love. And we can try things on and they can not work. And then we have permission to change what we define self-love as being. So just to throw that out at there. A good place to try to find information about self-love, if that feels kind of hard now that we're talking about, what might specifically feel good for me. It's very helpful for me to notice how I am extending my love to other people, considering their schedule, considering things they might need, considering doing things for them as part of their day or part of their evening so that I can be sure that we can have time together. Um, Making sure a schedule is kept, like reminders, appointments. That feels like love when I'm offering that. It might feel annoying to the people that are receiving it, but that's a piece of information for me because I'm giving that out there as love. And those are things that I value as love. And so applying them back into my life is going to help me define what self-love looks like to me, to my specific arrangement, my environment that is going to help grow self-love and help identify self-love. So now, I mean, I can't wait to talk about this interruptions. I keep not going in my flow with what I'm talking about. So the other things to consider are, I mean, what do we do to relax? What do we do to feel supported? What do we do to feel safe in our own life? This is still talking about building out what self-love means to me or you specifically. So it could look like a lot of things. It doesn't have to look like, and some people would argue that it should not look like bringing in a lot of outside things like, expensive clothing. That might be self-love to you though. But being aware that that is coming from the outside in, it's not growing from the inside out, which there's both experiences there. It can feel really awesome, and we can be experiencing some self-love by investing in a really nice suit, a really nice coat, a really nice whatever. But if we need to be in a place also where we are financially able to support that piece of our life. So being aware that it might be self-sabotage, like dropping that bunch of money, but it might truly be an act of self-love. So really seeing all of the sides and taking it in and working it through. So now finally, part 2 of my notes, the interruptions, which that was my big thing today with my interruptions, with my permission that I gave myself to rest, and how like instantly the universe was like, you can't go for the ride because you got to do this thing. Now you got to work on dinner, and nobody ate together. And, that 10 minutes together is not happening. And, catching up on things that I haven't gotten done yet. It's kind of in the back of my mind. Am I going to be able to shut my phone off? And the interruptions like that I just went through again that's the universe asking me, how valuable is this rest to me? Like I've never, possibly done all these 3 things at once, and the universe is asking me, how much do you want this, Sarah? How much are you going to change what you're doing to find 3 ways to rest today? And it's, almost 7:15, but I'm committed to that. And it is important to me. And when I do sit down with my kids for 10 minutes after I'm done with this and we have a snack together, that's going to satisfy that commitment. I'm going to be telling the universe, I'm going to be saying back to the universe, this is how valuable this is to me. And I'm so glad that I gave myself permission. And I'm so glad that everything worked out the way it did, because now I value this 10 minutes more than I would have if I just went on with my original plan. So the interruptions can seem frustrating, but there is definitely a bigger picture when um, hopefully you can take a minute and just apply that I guess advice of, or like my perspective on, the universe is asking me, how much do I want this? I um, make that commitment to self-love, to buy that really expensive, nice suit. And then, I come into my checking account and I think, oh, geez, I didn't have as much as I did, or, now my nice egg bill is too high, and what this and this and this. So that's an interruption to my plan of that self-love. How much do I want that coat? How much do I want that, or that suit? How much do I want that? How important is it to me? How committed am I going to be to that self-love? And arriving, looking for opportunities to bring me back into and align back into that commitment, really shows the universe that I was serious, that this means a lot to me. So um, that's my opinion of what the interruptions are about. And so now part 3, we have 4 parts to this video. Part 3 is about asking. So it's important to define what it is that we want for self-love, and then recognize maybe some bigger picture of why it's not happening. And then if it's not happening, I want to just talk for a few minutes about being clear about everything that goes into that effort of asking. So in thinking of we're just going to go back to that example of that person that is trying to show self-love with purchasing this expensive outfit. So if we think of that, like if we're trying to do that in our life, trying to buy this expensive thing, and it feels exciting and we want it, and then we look in, the checkbook, and we're like, oh, geez, this isn't going to work. This like doubt kind of settles in. Going back into, what if I saw someone with that exact outfit on right now? Or what in general do I think of when I think of people that are wearing expensive clothes? Is there an opinion? Is there a judgment? Is there jealousy? Is there any sort of spite that goes into it? Is there any sort of guilt? Is there any sort of fear, or any sort of conflict in emotions, saying, I want this, but I have all these opinions and these judgments about these people that are like wasting their money and doing all these things. That inner conflict, that inner confusion, keeps us from being aligned into asking very specifically with a pure intention of bringing those things into our life. So when we are asking, if things are interrupting us, that's one thing. And if we're asking and things aren't really coming our way, it's good to kind of look deeper and make sure that the value we place on that is something that can be spread across an experience of when we see others with those things, or some back memory of what we were taught about those things, what we were taught about spending a lot of money on a piece of clothing. Those things are still in there in our subconscious mind, and they can affect the alignment of those requests that we make when we're trying to step out of our comfort zone, when we're trying to get someplace new. So the last piece of this video is about supports that are out there for when we are trying to give ourselves permission to go somewhere new. I just talked about, being clear about the asking, being clear about what our inner opinions are of those things. And I love the meditations that are on the YouTube channel, The Mindful Movement. There's so many on there that there's some are short, some are long, some are meant to be like a sleep meditation. So you can put it on right before and it'll help you go to sleep and it'll be doing its thing with your subconscious mind while you're sleeping, trying to sift out the things that aren't working for you, sift out any resistance, limiting belief systems. Um, the mindful movement has wonderful, wonderful meditations. I begin and end my day almost every day doing one of their meditations. I do meditate every morning and every night, sometimes during the day if I need it. And the mindful movement is such a great place for me to find the resources that help me align the back thinking that's going on. Um, and I'm passing that on to you as a support. And I mentioned this in the beginning of the video that I'm also going to be doing a YouTube thing that is going to be supporting this exact um, journey in giving ourselves permission to move somewhere else, to move into something that is new for us, or even just bring awareness to behavior that we might be doing and not even know. And so that's going to be the YouTube short videos. The thumbnail on this video has all the information about what you need to look for on YouTube. If you are subscribed to my channel and you have the notification set up, you'll be notified each day when those videos go up. And they're going to be like a minute or less, which is going to be wonderful. Committing for 1 minute is usually not very difficult. And it's not very intimidating. And it's a really great place to start. It's a really great place to set that intention. And holding it for 1 minute is so valuable. So listening to that video once or twice, it's going to put your mind, it's going to help align that thinking into distilling out the stuff that doesn't work. So every day through February, I'm going to be putting up a video about giving myself permission to work through a whole bunch of different stuff. Today was I gave myself permission to rest. And I've been talking for almost 20 minutes about that journey and how interesting it was for me to spend that 1 minute making that commitment and then being challenged and seeing it as something bigger. And it's really beautiful to kind of be like at the almost the end of that and be able to talk about that in the video today. Because it's really kind of like that was this morning. And then, that was like 12 hours ago. And here I am 12 hours later and having this really big experience that I get to share with you. So I think that's about it for Let's Talk Tuesday. It looks like I do have someone here. There's been some people coming and going. And thank you so much for being here. And I'm saying hello specifically to you, whoever you are. I'm super glad to have your attention. I will see you back here again. March 1st is the next Tuesday, which makes things a little bit crazy, but crazy's fun, right? So March 1st at 7 o'clock is going to be the next Let's Talk Tuesday. And the topic for that is going to be, reciprocity is the theme for next month. So we're going to have a topic. I didn't have it written on my calendar, but there's a topic of a concept of reciprocity and living in reciprocity and the value of that. So I look forward to seeing you again soon. Please check out the videos. If you're like I said, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll get the notifications to know when all those awesome bits are coming up. And I will be posting something on Instagram to tie into what it is that we'll be giving ourselves permission to do each day throughout February. Okay, thank you so much. Have a fabulous evening, and I will talk to you again very soon.